Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those who are here in my office at Temple Beth Am. Hello to those who are joining via Zoom from different time zones and different states. And hello to anyone who might be watching this on Facebook Live, either on my profile or the Temple Beth Am page. And as always, hello and welcome to anyone who's listening to this on the Temple Beth Am podcast series. It's Friday morning in Los Angeles. Let me turn my computer to such a place so it won't interrupt us. Once again, we have an opportunity to go deep inside our cells and re-identify parts of our consciousness that get muted during a week of stuff. Those of us for whom Shabbat is significant, a way of centering our spirits so that we're more open and primed for what Shabbat may offer. And also for no other reason than we deserve it. Deserve to have moments where the only thing that matters is our mind, our breathing, and maybe the sense of sacred companionship that we create in person and through these digital portals. Unlike most of my meditations during the Omer, I'm not going to focus on the Omer today. Some of you were able to hear my meditation yesterday through the IJS about the Omer. I want to focus on one phrase in Parshat Bechukotai, the last Parsha of the book of Leviticus, that we'll read tomorrow. It's a longer treatment of what I'm about to say in my weekly Taste of Torah, in the synagogue's weekly Taste of Torah that I'm the author of this week. It's in the section of what we call the Tochacha. The Tochacha means the reproof. It's one of two places in the Torah. This is the shorter version of it. The longer one is in Parshat Ki Tavo in the book of Deuteronomy, where God describes through Moses a whole array of terrible curses that will befall the Israelites if they're not obedient. Right? It's a very harsh finger wagging. And it's hard to read through. In effect, if you're a shul goer, you know that generally the person, when they read that section, including tomorrow our Bat Mitzvah, Liana Elbaz does an amazing job. It's a long reading with hard words to say. You modulate your voice, so you chant in the normal voice throughout the rest of the section. But when you get to the Tochacha, you just whisper your voice because I don't want to focus on God's punishing us. And she goes back and forth, and it's really very dramatic. So even if you're not a sanctuary goer in general, to hear a 13-year-old child do that so expertly, you should come tomorrow. In that section, there's a series of awful descriptions of things that will happen to us. And there's one that seems very general, where the punishment is, I'll start with the punishment and then I'll tell you what the crime is. The punishment is that God is going to punish us sevenfold for our sins. Meaning, it's not just going to be a one-to-one relationship. If you do this, and I'll tell you what the this is in a second, you're going to get 7 times the wallop for what you thought. And what's the this? Im telchu imi keri. If you walk with me, go with me, keri, kuf resh yud. What does keri mean? No one's 100% sure. And the commentators go all around trying to explain it. Some people relate it to the root kar, which means cold. If you're cold-hearted in your relationship with God. Rabbi Avraham of Sokochov, who was one of the rabbis of the Sokochover dynasties in Poland, says the word keri is from the word mikre, which means happenstance, by accident, something that just takes place without intent. Makore, what's happening in modern Hebrew? It's the opposite of kavanah, focus and intent. And what he says to this, based on Rashi's commentary, is that it's interesting that the worst punishment in this list does not seem to be for neglecting the commandments, but rather for doing the commandments, but with no intentionality. If you walk in your pathway with me, Israelites, like an accident, right? Yeah, you light the candles. Yeah, you say a blessing before you eat. I'm being, somewhat anachronistic because those laws didn't exist back then. Yeah, you observe the holidays, but it means nothing to you. It's just like a happenstance, an occurrence like every other thing you did during the day. That's the worst attitude of sinfulness towards God. And what I would attach that to, it's probably one of the worst poses of sinfulness towards one another, right? It might be worse to go through the motions in your relationship with someone or something that matters, rather than to reject them completely, right? And so what I want to explore as we go into this meditation is, where are the places in our spiritual lives, in our vertical relationship with the Holy One, and in our personal lives, in our horizontal relationship with one another, where we might be guilty of im tilchu imi keri. Like, if you walk with me as if you're not even walking with me. You can make the case that you're walking with me, but are you really there? That might be one of the most absent ways we can go through life. Okay, that's the piece of Torah. Now we'll go to the meditation. If you have not already, please close your eyes. And if you have not already, I invite you to place your feet flat on the ground in front of you, so you have a firm foundation in your connection with the earth. And imagine a long straight line going from your tailbone through the crown of your head up to Shamayim, as if your body is suspended in beautiful balance between the earth's pulling you down and the heavens pulling you up. Rather than feeling stretched out, you actually feel held. You may want to place your hands on your legs, point of contact with self, either palms down, a very gentle embrace of yourself, or palms up, which signifies an openness to this moment, to whatever will come through your mind, whether it's a lot or a little or nothing. And allow your body to really rest. Don't hold any tension in muscles that are not required for this position. You can do a survey of your body. Are your shoulders higher than they need to be? Have you allowed your belly to soften, not tucking it in for any unnecessary reason? Are your fingers heavy on your legs? Is your jaw unclenched and maybe even your mouth open a bit? Giving repose to all those facial muscles. What's the status of your eyeballs within your eyes? Are they low and heavy? Or are you still holding some tension even there? Orient your body and your mind towards poised rest, so that you can claim this moment being more awake, more alive, more focused than any other moment yet today. But you're also experiencing a deep tranquility, a deep menucha, a deep rest. Im telchu imi keri. If you walk with me, but by accident, it hurts. If you walk with me, but it's just a happenstance, there's loss in this bond. Where do those words take you in your relationship with another, with an obligation you have, or with Torah and God and spirituality itself? Im telchu imi keri. If you walk with me, but you are more absent than present, that's a transgression. It is hard to hold attention and intention and have it endure. It is damaging in all of our important bonds to never do that. Breathe yourself into a certain focus, a pledge that at least today, at least for part of today, you will not live by accident. You will not be absent in your presence. You will give kavanah and attention and intention when it is deserved. To those you love, to the supernal realm beyond us, even to yourself. Breathe into that. Like you can start coming back to the surface, even if you don't like. Sometimes it's a relief to be out of that mode because it's intense, and sometimes you want to go back there. I'm going to share the closing meditation prayer that we're going to say together 3 times, coming from the Buddhist tradition. It's what I say when I finish my own meditation, and what I almost always have us say when we finish our group meditation. And as I said yesterday on the IJS meditation, it's that last paragraph that sometimes people have a question about, and at another time we can go deeper into what the second phrase in the last paragraph means. If you have a strong reaction to it, so do many others. We'll say it together. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness in the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. Wish you all a shalom and a Shabbat shalom and a namaste. And it may or may not be the case that some of what we dealt with today may find itself in a different form in my Dvar Torah tomorrow. I'm thinking about several different themes, and sometimes when I present several different times on a Shabbat, I like scattershot, like different verses, different things. Sometimes I try to build around a central idea. So it may be that my Shabbat sermon tomorrow will be along these lines. Bye, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.